So yes, lots of open world gaming goodness in this video. Get this, someone actually bought a copy of Skyrim for a whopping $600 recently, and it could actually be a good move here in the future. I'll explain that in just a moment, but we've also got news about Square Enix and Final Fantasy XIV. It's become so immensely popular they actually had to stop selling it. So why in the world is Final Fantasy XIV becoming such a huge hit after all of these years? We'll discuss that in just a moment. Plus, we're going to be talking about Hogwarts Legacy, the brand new Harry Potter open world game here coming up. We've got some dark details that, yes, the game it seems like you will be able to embrace the dark side in this game, but how violent will it actually be? Plus, we're going to be talking about Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut. It gets some new leaks, which reveals the actual size and scope of this expansion. I call it an expansion, but apparently it's going to be 12 to 15 hours long, and we got some brand new leaked details about that one. And yes, we're going to be talking about PlayStation because we're apparently getting a PlayStation first-party title event here coming up. What will we see very soon? So yeah, a lot of cool stuff there. So let's dive in. Hey everyone, what's happening? Open world games here. Hope you're doing good. And let's first of all start out with this crazy story that yes, someone actually purchased a copy of Skyrim for $600. Now this is a sealed copy, as you can see right here. It's completely sealed. It's $600, and yes, the sale actually went through and someone actually purchased it successfully for this price, and it's actually at an auction. Now the article goes on to say the following: following a sealed copy of Super Mario 64 selling for 1.5 million, collectors are looking for the next big thing that will make them a ton of money. One buyer in particular believes the Elder Scrolls 5 Skyrim may be it, as they have purchased a sealed copy for $600. So yeah, they actually went through and purchased it, and it's interesting because it could actually be a good move, and it's in very good condition. It's a 9.2 rating. Apparently the Mario copy was like a 9.8 rating, which means almost near perfect. But yeah, this could actually be worth quite a bit of money in the very near future. I mean, can you imagine how much it could potentially be worth in 10 years if Bethesda actually does a really good job nailing, you know, Starfield, the next Elder Scrolls, and of course the next Fallout. If they actually are really successful, this copy could be worth quite a bit of money. We're seeing that more and more older games that are in perfect mint condition are becoming worth something because the gaming industry itself is becoming worth more and more. Even the movie industry is recognizing the gaming industry. You're seeing more, game-based movies being made, Uncharted and the like coming up here. So yeah, the rarity factor is going up. So all I have to say to you guys is watch out if you have a sealed copy of a game and it's from a popular publisher, popular developer, and it's in mint condition, I would not open it. That's all I'm saying, because I think there is something to be said about these games becoming more valuable as time passes. Now let's get into the news about Hogwarts Legacy, shall we? So this is an interesting one. This comes from a leaker right here. It goes on to say the following: Hogwarts Legacy might allow you to learn the dark arts. And this is a rumor, of course. Now it says, taking to Twitter last week, lead writer DC Allen refrained from confirming if players will be able to curse, or kill others in Hogwarts Legacy. He instead noted that the launch trailer of the game already confirms evil to be existing in the wizarding world. Don't think I can answer your question directly, but in the trailer, you can see there's a lot of evil occurring in the wizarding world. He replied in a now deleted tweet to a fan posed question about whether or not killing will be an option. So it's interesting because there might actually be some really dark stuff you could do in this game, of course. So let me know if you will take the dark path in Hogwarts Legacy, if in fact that actually ends up being an option. I think it would be interesting to see that as an option. Honestly, I see that being a theme in this game because it is an open world RPG, and you'll probably be able to join different groups in this game. Based on the trailer here, you're seeing the character receiving the hat right there. So yeah, I think that, dark options will potentially exist in that game. Now also, we got to talk about Final Fantasy XIV. This game is becoming more and more popular, so much so that Square Enix has had to recently stop selling the game. However, sales have recently resumed, but what is going on here? So apparently, digital copies for Final Fantasy XIV Online Complete Edition were temporarily paused according to reports online and verified by IGN. While sales have since resumed for Final Fantasy XIV, the pause may have been caused by the MMORPG's exploding popularity. So one reason they would want to actually pause sales to a game that's selling so well is to refrain from the servers being overloaded and causing harm to the actual community infrastructure that already exists, because that would actually be bad news. So it seems like they ended up pausing the game sales to Final Fantasy XIV. Then they added a wait list instead, and then began resuming sales as they made the servers more stable. Actually, that's quite smart that they did this. But yeah, again, Final Fantasy XIV has taken off so much. In fact, there's a whole discussion right now about it being more popular than World of Warcraft. Let me know if you guys have hopped on the bandwagon that is Final Fantasy XIV, or if you're sticking to games like World of Warcraft, or what MMO you are embracing currently, whether it's Genshin Impact or the like. Now it's time to talk about Ghost of Tsushima, one of my favorite games. They're of course releasing that director's cut. I cannot freaking wait for that. So this is the recent leak about this one. It goes on to say this supposed veteran QA tester leaks Ghost of Tsushima Iki Island DLC content. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing stuff correctly. But anyway, it goes on to say this quality assurance tester partially disabled by ankylosing spondylosis. I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong. It says Fight Night Round 4 was my first experience with beta testing. I have worked for many prestigious companies in the gaming industry, including EA Sports, Naughty Dog, and Sucker Punch. In the past, I have been planning about joining Reddit. Now that I have some free time, I have decided to do so. Excuse me. Now it says, if any of this is legit, they seem to have an extensive background of QA with AAA devs and have apparently worked with Sucker Punch in the past. Many of the features listed seem to be plausible. A few things mentioned have already been confirmed. Now, monkeys and other wildlife were confirmed for Iki Island already, and they have also mentioned in the QA's post here, it adds new wildlife such as leopards, squirrels, and monkeys to Ghost of Tsushima thanks to its colorful landscape. Now, new armor for Jin and his horse were confirmed already, and they also mentioned in the QA's post here, new heavy armor sets, added a new medium grade armor, a new light grade armor has been added, this hooded outfit. There are 3 new horse armors that can be colored, and then new Mongols and enemy types were confirmed already, and they also mentioned in the QA's post here, new enemies and Mongol types. Now, much more is talked about in the post, so we will go over that way. Also, they do mention right here, and this is actually from the post itself, they talk about that the game is going to be 15 to 20 hours of gameplay for the additional content on Iki Island, which is actually really impressive in my opinion. You know, there has been some complaints about, oh, hey, you know, the price seems unfair related to whether you're upgrading to the director's cut or you're buying the director's cut outright. But in my opinion, you're purchasing an actual expansion, you know, $20, $30 is very commonplace for this, and you would expect to, of course, pay the developers for their work. At least that's my opinion, that people should be paid for their art, their work, and their talent. That's just my assumption. Of course, not overpaid, but anyway, let's keep going here. Now, what's interesting is the tester also discovered a new fighting stance and a fresh upgrade for swords and bows, and there's also a volcano located on the island to boot, which sounds like a ton of freaking fun. Honestly, I get so hyped just reading this. Now, take this with a grain of salt, but in my opinion, it seems to be pretty legit. Now, they say this elsewhere, players can expect to encounter new shrines, new compositions for your flute, and new Mongol and enemy types are already touched base on that one. Now, torches have also been added, and there's also heavy armor sets to acquire, as well as 3 new horse armors and dozens of extra charms. So yes, all things that hopefully are coming up here on August 20th, 2021 to PS5 and PS4. Let me know if you guys are getting the director's cut of Ghost of Tsushima. Now, also, let's keep going. Let's talk about the next PlayStation event and when that could actually be expected, shall we? So it goes on to say here, the rumor is PlayStation first party event allegedly happening in early August. Horizon Forbidden West, God of War, and PlayStation VR 2 will be the focus here. So I would be expecting in early August to be seeing our real first look of God of War Ragnarok. I really hope this actually pans out to be true. Now, of course, these are all rumors, but a lot of these rumors have panned out to be true in regards to at least the dates. You know, we had the rumor previously that July 8th would be focused around a PlayStation event, and that ended up being true, and that event actually ended up being focused on indies and Deathloop instead of first-party titles. I think, honestly, PlayStation did want to show God of War and Horizon Forbidden West earlier this July, but they had some controversies related to, you know, indie studios and things like that, and they instead decided to shine a spotlight on indie studios for them, considering that they had some backlash regarding those indie studios and things like that. So that's really interesting. Now, also, we have an actual Grand Theft Auto 6 leak. Yes, a GTA 6 leak right here. So let's get into this one right here. It goes on to say the following. An extensive analysis of the questionable leaked GTA 6 map, definite connections between some previous claims about the game. And if we go to the map, we can see it right here. It's stitched together. This is apparently the leaked GTA 6 map. It could have been made by one person. That's my opinion. This is why I kind of put this stuff at the tail end of the video instead of on the forefront, because you never know. You guys may be like, wow, I've heard about way too many GTA leaks. But yeah, this one's definitely interesting. It goes on to say the following right here. It says, so there was a recent GTA 6 supposed leaked map that was definitely questionable, but I still think it's worth analyzing. There already have been some great posts from Nick Tess Branch on GTA forums, and I'm going to use his stitched together map here. Let me recap real quick in case anyone isn't fully aware. An account named of Jim Smith posted a video on GTA forums and quickly deleted it. People managed to re-upload two versions of this video. The original video here and the zoomed in stabilized version. Of course, if you go to the original video, it is incredibly shaky. It's absolutely hilarious to me how shaky it is. And I don't know, there's some people in this thread that believe this is true, and some people that believe it's fake, and they go back to the Red Dead Redemption 2 leaked maps and they compare it to that, but it's definitely interesting. Now they go on to say the following right here. It looks like the surroundings are masked out and the zoomed in version is a bad attempt to stabilize, making the video look lower quality and shakier than the original actually is. Now, Nick Tess Branch then made a great stitched together version of the map, which of course is right here. So credit to him. It's actually a really cool looking map, and it does kind of remind me a little bit of what's going on already in GTA 5. Now it says, if you didn't notice, the video has a location visible in the upper right hand corner. When the cursor passes over it, shows the name of the location. I went ahead and analyzed the video frame by frame to see what name is displayed when the cursor passes. Now, since I went ahead and created a map with the displayed names, there are a few I wasn't sure about, and I'll talk about them in a second link. I was unsure about a few names: Vehicle Loading in Blue Fish Point, Mount Croc's Head in Croc's Head, and Gotham, Morocco off the coast of Florida. Here's an imager of the album with blurry names. Maybe you can do a better job at seeing what they say. So this map ended up lining up exactly with some 4chan leaks from a few weeks ago. There are too many similarities to count, but I'll line them up here. Stated locations in the 4chan leak: Florida and Puerto Rico is the setting. We of course see Florida here in the leak. It shows it in the upper right hand corner. FL. Some people have pointed out that Rockstar never uses real state names, but Florida is an exception. In GTA Vice City is in Florida, and in the HD universe, Nico actually says Florida in GTA 4. Interesting notes there. Puerto Rico isn't visible, but we can imagine it's somewhere to the southwest across the ocean. This would explain why why Florida appears to be around the size of GTA 5's map, because there is an entire other free roam area. Now, Vice City, he states, of course, we see this in the map. It's very small, around the exact same size it is in the PS2 game. Some people have pointed out. Other people have pointed out that there's a high detail button on the menu. So maybe we're only seeing the main roads and the map is bigger than we're expecting. Regardless, it's only about 1/3 or 1/4 the size of Los Santos. Now, the 4chan leak states Palm Beach is another location. In the leaked map, we see, however you say this, Punishina Beach above Vice City. I think this beach is supposed to be a Palm Beach equivalent. We can just see some visible similarities with the lake and the location relative to Miami Vice City. So again, you're getting a lot of Vice City, Miami vibes here. And the rumors have all stated that, this would, of course, be taking place in a Vice City type setting, at least according to recent rumors about GTA 6. We'll see if it pans out to be true, but also, again, you got to remember that there's been sources like Jason Schreier, I think it's Eurogamer, Game Rant, so on and so forth, that have said that this game is coming out in 2025, which is a bummer to hear. I guess GTA 5 is just selling way too well for them to even consider releasing GTA 6 right now. But yes, there it is, the latest happenings around open world games. I hope you all enjoyed the video. Stay tuned for more open world gaming goodness. And let me know if you guys have any fresh copies of Skyrim lying around that you're going to keep safe and perhaps auction off in a decade from now. Who knows? It could be possible. But thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more, and I will see you all next time. Take care.